I never needed nowhere to stay. You act like niggas on your couch. You was a fan, nigga. You begged us. You are a fan, nigga. A fan. We didn't grow up with you. I am from 140th and Lenox. I am from NFL. Up the block was 40 Wolves. Lou Simpsons, I'm on 142nd Cross Square. D. Ferg on them at 8th Avenue. I don't see you around none of this. Shout out to my nigga, what's the nigga Final Four Billy and them you started? You're not from none of that. So you can sit around and act like you've been around all this Harlem shit and everything. You ever see somebody from Harlem try to act like they from Harlem so bad that you got to keep saying, I'm from Harlem? Niggas from Harlem know who's from Harlem. You don't have to keep saying you from Harlem. So that's first and foremost. All this, yo, niggas was on your couch. You were fanned out and you begged niggas to come to your house after you heard all these mixtapes. That's how you got in, nigga.
Yo, so we back in here for another edition of F-ya-Motha, and that was Killer Cam airing Jimmy out. Now, I did a video about Jim Jones and how he's trying to be the cool old guy, but instead he's coming across as the old guy that's trying to be cool. This right here is no exception. Now, if memory serves me correct, I'm gonna try to give you the rundown of L's this nigga done took. First, it'll start off with the most notoriously known one, the fight him and Killer had with Junior Mafia. Cameron looked like he was Usain Bolt, and Jim Jones was getting packed out. He ended up taking off running. So we know these niggas aren't tough. Now, you don't necessarily have to be a tough nigga, right? It's applauded, it's admired. However, philosophy as I get older is just be yourself. Everybody gets beat up. There's no problem in that, right? It's when you get beat up and you don't fight back, or you get beat up and you run. Those aren't admirable. But he got terrorized by True Life. Him and Cameron was getting terrorized by True Life. I guess they, after the Rockefeller split, if my memory serves me correct, it was between 2005 and 2007. In between that time, True Life had ran up on Cameron, punched him in the face, caught up with Jimmy, punched him in the face. Now, story has it that True Life punched Jimmy in his face on behalf of Jojo Capone, because he owed $12,000 of money that Jojo Capone loaned him for a video shoot. They never paid back. The famous altercation he had with Max B, I want to say that was 2004 or 5. Oh no, 5 or 6. It was the same period where he owed Max B some money, and Max B had put out all these like mixtapes dissing him. Even went on a radio station talking about fuck Chrissy and that, which that bitch do got a fat ass. But he ended up punching this nigga in the face in Midtown. Now I can't show the video, which is ironic because I got it from YouTube. And French Montana shot the shit. But we saw Jim Jones get punched in the face. If I'm not mistaken, Max B is like 5'6", 5'7". Jim Jones is like 6'2", 6'3". So we watched the nigga get punched in the face by a short nigga. But the short nigga was with the shit. And I distinctly heard Jimmy say, call the cops. Once again, if you need to see that video, it should be still on YouTube. But yeah, so he's thoroughly not built like that. Not only that, he got packed out in Boston. This nigga was on the side of the SUV. I think it was a Navigator. He was on the side of the door panel talking about, yo, getting the whip, while his mans and them was getting packed out by some Dominican niggas in Boston. So we know this nigga clearly is like, he's a wannabe tough guy. This is why Dipset will never be, in my opinion, one of the greatest rap groups of all time, aside from the fact that they don't have an extensive catalog. It's the fact that they notorious for airing each other out. They're catty like women. I would say between Bone Thugs and Harmony and them, they take the cake. Because at least with Bone Thugs and Harmony, it hasn't been no detriment shit. Now, Bone Thugs and Harmony have gone on television and said they didn't fuck with Busy Bone. They left it at that. There's a video clip of Lazy Bone calling Busy Bone a bitch. But them niggas is like brothers. They lived in the same house, shared clothes and shit. Not only that, most of their dishes other than BET, The Basement, was never aired out on public platforms, right? It might have been a little slick shit, or they said something here or there. We didn't get to see it. Killer is actually taken to his podcast show, It Is What It Is with Mace, another fellow Harlem Night that he had problems with publicly, and they ended up squashing it, right? Because Children of the Corn, Cameron, Dipset, none of these niggas is gonna throw hands. Now, I think some niggas in Children of the Corn beat up on Mace and probably even slap Cameron out. But like, for the most part, these niggas are street representatives. They might have did their little dirt here and there, dabbled in the street, but they was not hardened criminals. I've never been under the impression, since I've been an adult, that rappers is really built like that, with the exception of DMX. But this looks awful because like they're supposed to be friends. And when you friends, I believe, it's just my belief, I could be wrong, I believe you should keep certain things within the circle of your friends, not disclose to because we're not your friends, we're strangers. You're essentially telling us that Jim Jones ain't from Harlem, he from the Bronx, which we knew that because you exposed him several years ago. But this just makes y'all niggas look like bitches. You know what I'm saying? If Mano did press him, if rappers did press him behind the scenes, if you was his man, you was supposed to help him out, have his back, not let him get pressed, sit on the information, and as soon as he said something you didn't like, you exposed to strangers essentially. Like, that's whack. That's what females do. So Cameron don't get no stripes for this. I could see how he's like frustrated that Jimmy keeps going on platforms talking smack. My thing is, if a nigga's being a sucker, you don't play into being a sucker with him. You let him be a sucker by himself and check him behind the scenes like everybody else. What you don't do, if you ever were friends, is disclose that he was a sucker, got pressed on by other niggas, and you didn't fucking like come to his defense. Now, I'm not saying fight his battles, but if you saw Mano like picking on a nigga and you knew he was pussy, you probably should have intervened, told Mano to chill, or hell, if it's your man, pack him out together. That's what me and my niggas did. My niggas never sat around and watched a nigga chump me off and then either try to intervene or have my back. You know what I'm saying? Which I've never needed that, but that's neither here or there. What is pertinent to this is the fact that he's not really any more better than Jim Jones. Jim Jones lied about being from Harlem, starting Dipset. He's no better. He's literally saying Jim Jones is a punk that got pressed on by other niggas and he witnessed it, yet he did nothing to like help his mans out. That wasn't really your friends. We can keep it 100. These niggas either, like, none of these niggas really are friends. They're opportunists. Even Mace, they wait for an opportunity when it like is convenient and it serves them, but they're not true authentic friends. True friends don't publicly diss each other and then make up. True friends don't sit around and watch niggas press you, put pressure on you, sit on the information and then call you a sucker for it when they could have actually like had you back. So that is why, while I like Cameron's music, I like Jim Jones' music, I like Mace's music, these are the CB4 wannabe gangster rappers in the game. In any event, if you like this episode, I probably missed some shit, but hey, who cares? Any event, if y'all like this episode, you know what to do. Like, comment, and subscribe. Share with your friends, and I'm out.